Hello, everybody. This is Robin Leslie. I am so excited. Today we are launching onlytheinspired.com Coach Summit, the value of coaching. I am super duper duper excited about this. There's been lots of work, lots of collaboration getting up to this point. Lots of coaches, just amazing interviews with these coaches. And I know we're getting started here in just a minute. So there's a couple things I would like to share. So first of all, my name's Robin Leslie, and I came up with onlytheinspired.com about 3.5 years ago. And it's all about coaching, the value of coaching, and it's basically a coaching platform. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. So this Coach Summit, we're going to feature about 70 coaches from every different aspect. And actually, some of them are entrepreneurs, so not everybody's a coach. But my goal, I have several goals for the summit, right? So the first goal is to showcase these coaches because the value that they bring to people's lives is just amazing. Super, a lot of people don't understand what coaching does. For somebody's life, and coaching can help you get unstuck. It can help you when you're super depressed and you don't know how to get out of that. It can help you when you're stuck and you just, life, it feels like it's going nowhere and you're frustrated. And coaching can help you advance your life, advance your business. It can help you find your perfect soulmate. It can help you do all sorts of stuff. So this summit is all about the value of coaching. Yay. And my goal for the listeners is to inspire you, because I know there's so many of us that have that in our gut where we know that we're meant for more, and we know that our job just isn't fulfilling, or we don't make enough money, or we just, it's not the lifestyle that we want. So I'm hoping with all of you listening to all of these various different coaches and listening to what took them from this career, the series of things that happened that took them into this career, and to actually see the coaches just light up when they talk about how they get to help people and how, they make a difference in people's lives. And it just, there's no doubt that they absolutely love what they're doing. And so just a little bit about the coaches. There's coaches from every area, and some of them are new coaches, and some of them have 30 plus years experience. So be open to checking out all of the coaches. They all have amazing different skills, and you might resonate with, 55 of the 70, or you might only resonate with 12, but it's going to be amazing. And just, it takes some courage to get out there and stick your neck out and get out of your comfort zone. And so I'm supporting those coaches and hoping to inspire you. So, super quick, we are going to do daily prizes for engagement. So engagement in the group, engagement with watch parties, or sharing the video. You're helping us, and so we're going to give prizes, and that's most likely going to be memberships to onlytheinspired.com. And so we'll have daily winners, and then at the end of the summit, we'll keep track of everybody, and I'll probably have a little graphic or a little sheet where you could fill out and keep track of what you're doing. And you're going to be rewarded for helping us get our message out and sharing. And then when all of the coaches are given a little bit away, so they're doing giveaways, I will have a post topic in this group that'll say giveaways, and under there you're going to be able to find everything. So I am going to bring on our first coach, and this is Veronica Shire. Yay.
Hello.
So she is a mindset life coach, and she has such a beautiful heart, and I can't wait for you guys to hear the interview. So her first interview, so we're doing 2 interviews a day. And except for we're going to do a marathon day 1 or 2 because we have so many coaches. And so we're doing 2 interviews a day. So we'll bring on the coach, introduce her a little bit, or whoever the coach is. Then we're going to play the recorded video. And that's the interview. And like we recorded ours, I think it was the first week of June. And so some of these, it's been since May since we recorded them, and some of them are brand new. And then we'll bring on the second coach. Well, actually, after we're done with her video, we're going to have an open Q&A session with Veronica. And then we'll bring on Irene today. And the cool part about this group, about this summit, is if you hear a coach and you're not live to listen to it and be there for the Q&A, you could find them in the group. And so all of the coaches are going to be in the group, and you could say, oh my gosh, Veronica, I just heard your interview. It was absolutely amazing. And you could connect with her right in the group. So I'm super excited.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
welcome, Veronica. Is there anything you want to say before we get started?
I'm honored to be your first guest. That's a little bit of pressure, but
You got it.
Oh, we had a blast. I'm so excited for this and so excited for the Q&A. It's going to be great.
Very cool. All righty. So I am going to start the first video, and we will see you guys when it's done. Okay. And make sure you write down any questions, and you can also post questions in the chat. There should be instructions at the top of this video where you could allow StreamYard to show who you are. And for most people, it works. For some people, it's a little tricky, but we can always find your comments after. So anyways, here we go. Actually, I got to share my screen. Is it working, Veronica?
No, it's just us. I mean, we can just like replay the interview.
No, that's all right. I'm working. It's my first time, peoples.
You totally
okay. Application window. We'll try that.
That's the one you want.
Okay. All right, one more. All right, so understand it's my first day. We're working on it. Let's add the sound again. Sorry. I'm winging it, guys. Hang in there with me.
You're doing great.
All right, share screen. And I want audio. There we go.
Guys, give Robin some encouragement in the comments.
Yeah.
You've put so much work into this.
Oh, and it is not playing my sound. Okay. We're working with it. Hang in there. We practiced this the other day. I promise we did. Okay. So share a screen. I will do it a different way. Share audio. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hang in there.
That's working.
Can you hear it?
Yes. It's working. Now I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. This is Robin Leslie with OnlyTheInspired.com, and I have the beautiful Veronica Shire here, Miss Colorful. Look at those earrings; they're just awesome, and the hair is great. So we're gonna find out a little bit about Veronica today and what she's all about. And so, in a couple of minutes, describe who you are and how you help people.
Hey everyone, Veronica Shire here. I'm so thankful. Thank you, Robin, for having me. This is just an awesome opportunity to be able to share and connect with each other. this is how everybody's doing it now, right? We're all connecting on Zoom and StreamYard and yes, I'm really, really grateful. I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Thank
So
you.
a little bit about me. I like color. I'm obsessed with earrings. I have a lot of earrings. I didn't pierce my ears till I was 26. And then once I did, I was like, well, I want really large earrings to hang out of these holes that I've poked in my ears. So love color, all about it. And I'm just about brightening up the world. So my company is Thrive Life Coaching. And I work with individuals who are feeling stuck in just the everyday stuff of life. They're feeling stuck in survival mode, and circumstances happen to all of us. We can't avoid life, right? We can't avoid the pitfalls and the excitement and the joy and the sorrow. And so lots of people, though, they get stuck in letting life happen to them. And I work with individuals to create life that happens for them, so that even despite the circumstances we can't change, we can't avoid or control everything that goes on in our life, but we have control about what we do with those things that happen and how do we navigate that to continue towards a life of thriving.
Gotcha. Well, and a lot of people don't realize that they have the choice. They think, well, this is where I'm at, and it kind of sucks, and there's nothing I can do. And so I'm glad you're helping people realize, no, you can actually create this instead of, being a prisoner or just going with what you got in and got stuck doing. No, you have options, and you can love what you do.
Absolutely.
So how did you get started in this business? Was it one event or was it a series of events? What did you do before, and how did you kind of merge into that?
So that's a lifetime story. We don't have time for that. But
talk really fast.
I will talk. I can do that. I can talk really fast. So basically, I was born with a disability, a spinal cord disability, that has obviously brought challenges to my life throughout my life, and lots of health issues and medical stuff, and a lot of people telling me that I couldn't do things, that I would never be able to reach for the stars and to do all the things that I wanted so badly to do. Thankfully, I had a father who was a dreamer, and he was a go for the stars and dream big or just don't dream at all. Like, what's the point? If you're going to dream, why not shoot for the stars? Because if you shoot for the stars, then, even if you don't make it, you're still going to do something bigger and more glorious than had you not dreamt at all. And so with everything, and he had some health issues as well. And so as he journeyed along, we were kind of like, I felt like we were kind of partners in crime, so to speak, in terms of we were doing this thing together. And I knew that he understood struggle and he understood health issues, and I kept seeing him succeed. And so it instilled that in me, in wanting to kind of break those barriers to say, no, you say I can't do it. No, I really want. I'm now going to, and I'm going to prove you wrong, because this is something I want. And so, going through school, I did not like school. Children are mean, can be mean, and bullying is real. And so I always said at the end of school, I come from a long line of teachers who all thought I would go. They were, because I'm really good with kids, so they're like, you will be a teacher. And I was like, you couldn't pay me enough to hang out there. Like, I hated being there in the first place. Long story short, I ended up working as an educational assistant, and I worked with kids with special needs. And I did that for 8 years, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm not sure, I live in Canada, full disclosure, so I'm not sure, do you guys have, like, do you call them special ed rooms, right? The special ed room where kids who need extra help can go, they get taken out of the class by the educational assistants and work on their own programs and curriculum. So I hated that because as a kid, I had a physical disability, but mentally, I was as smart as any other kid. But I mean, this was a long time ago. I'm aging myself a little bit. At that point, there was no differentiation. If you were different, if you had any kind of disability, you were lumped together. So I was with all the kids who had to have varying or adapted programs because they couldn't learn what what their age group was learning. Where I just had physical limitations, but was lumped in with them. And so it was really, really frustrating for me as a kid because then I was, automatically segregated.
Right.
So as I came into working in this environment, I really truthfully didn't care about kids learning about science and social studies and math and history. Those things are all important. That was not my motive for being there. My motive for being there was that the kids saw that they had value and worth and contribution to make to the world, despite their circumstances, despite what was going on in their lives and in their health. And so
Yay.
immediately I relabeled it the fun room. And so I would take kids out of the classroom for half an hour or an hour a day, and we would go to the fun room. Kids then, and we would have fun. And so I reframed it. And then the other kids who didn't have to come to the fun room wanted to come to the fun room. And so then it became a reward at the end of the week. If the kids I was working with were focused and we were doing what we needed to be doing, at the end of the week, they were allowed to bring a friend who normally didn't come to the fun room. We get to come and check it out for like 20 minutes. And then they got to experience it. So it was this really beautiful thing of inclusion and but also celebrating each other's differences. And I'm really, really grateful for that. All that to be said, some stuff went down and I had some health issues and some people in the organization that were not quite as inclusive minded as I was, and I ended up resigning from that job, and which broke my heart, but I knew my health mattered more than keeping a job, and so I resigned from that. And then, I mean, I was 28 years old, and I'm like, I have 28, 29, and I have so much more life to live.
For sure.
Right? And this was going to be my career forever. What am I going to do? Just previous to that, I had actually seen a life coach because stuff that we don't have time to get into, my life had kind of spiraled due to a lot of things health related to me. I had brain surgery when I was 15, and that caused a lot of hormonal imbalances. My dad then passed away when I was 19. And so the person that was like, we were doing this life together, and he got me and he understood and like pushed me forward to be better and do better and dream big. Suddenly I didn't have my cheerleader anymore and was lost. And so I spent my early 20s, my late teens and early 20s very lost. And so I'm grateful for the job as an educational assistant because that gave me purpose. That gave me something to get out of bed for. And so I ended up hiring a life coach just previous to actually quitting my job. And it completely changed my life. And I then unofficially became a life coach. Unintentionally, I became one. And just because I was practicing what I had learned, I was practicing what I was preaching, and then people saw the drastic change in me, and they're like, okay, how did you do that? Like, I saw you, I've known you, I saw how dark life was. What? Tell me your secrets. I need to know. And then with the transition of having to quit my job and then going, okay, what am I going to do now? Right? 27, 28 years old. What am I going to do now? It just became a natural kind of next step.
Awesome. So you've been doing it for how long?
So I got my qualification. So that's the thing. So I coached a lot of people for a bunch of years. And then people said, well, this could be your new thing. And you probably should get paid for this because you're really good at it. So I have been unofficially coaching for about 6 years, 5-6 years total since I started coaching. I've been doing it with my company after getting my certification. I got that in December of 2017.
Oh, very cool. Well, and you don't have to be certified to be a life coach. Tony Robbins doesn't have any certification.
That's true.
But,
That's true.
Yeah. So
yeah, but with my company, company as a certified life coach, I've been doing that since 2017.
Oh, very cool. Yay. I love that story. That's quite a story.
That is just the beginning. That was the condensed, I talked fast version.
Right. I'm gonna make sure my phone is on silent. So describe your ultimate vision for your business.
I've been talking to a lot of people about this lately, and I was part of a big challenge. How we met through Rise Up, and all about entrepreneurs rising up and creating this life that we want and this business that we want to change the world. And for me, it's actually quite simple. What do I see for my business? I want to create a space for people to come and feel cared about and seen and heard, loved, and that they can see they have a purpose, that there's a vision for them, that there is, yes, circumstances have maybe derailed some of their dreams, maybe have taken them in, off the path that they envisioned for themselves, but to recognize the value that they have as human beings, and that we all just, it's ultimately that I show people that they have the ability to thrive and am able to help them figure out what does that roadmap look for them. I was in an interview recently, and I used the analogy that when we were all traveling, remember when we were all traveling and actually went on vacations?
Right.
You plan a vacation, and whether it's with your spouse or your family or just a girl's vacation because you want to, get out of town, and you make all these plans, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the show, maybe catch a Cirque show, or I'm going to go to the spa, I'm going to whatever your plan is, right? And now you know my vacations and what they look like, and go to the beach and hang out in the pool, right? And then there is construction on the road. You're driving to your destination and there's construction on the road. You don't cancel your trip. Figure out, you get the map out and you figure out the detour, right? You figure out the other roads that will lead to your destination. And yeah, maybe your timeline is delayed a little bit, but you go. And it's that way with life, right?
Absolutely.
Things happen that derail us, that kind of stop us in our tracks, construction ahead, and you figure it out. And so I help people with mindset, actually, because so often it's not actually the stuff in our day, it's our mindset. It's the belief that, oh my goodness, this stuff is happening to me. What am I gonna, I'm a victim, I'm overwhelmed, right? It's all those feelings, and those feelings are real. Anxiety is real, overwhelm is real, depression is real. Mm-hmm. But it's what do we do with those things, and where do we take those? And so my ultimate goal with Thrive Life Coaching is that if I can reach somebody, if I can make somebody's day better today, I can go to bed tonight happy and fulfilled.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, and just like you were saying, you thought that you were going to be a teacher's assistant. That was going to be your thing.
Yeah.
And then, hello, detour. and that isn't a failure in any way on your part. Maybe that was, it was a purpose for that time and place. And then now your purpose is something completely different.
Yeah.
And yes, so I love that. Well,
Yeah.
and so many people, it's just how can I step into what I'm doing? And just a quick mindset shift that you can help them with, not only can help them during that day, but possibly for the rest of their lives, just like your life coach. That can, just working with that life coach right before, the shit hit the fan,
Right.
it took you in a much different direction, one that lights you up on a daily basis, and where you're not restricted because of what other people think you should be doing. That's the part I love, is we get to color this in any color that we want. We can wear the biggest earrings, like probably in that school you probably couldn't feel free to wear big old fat fluffy earring, you know what I mean? There's limits when you're kind of on your own. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, so
I love it. No, and I think there's something in that too, that when I looked at it and looked at working as an EA, I wasn't actually in it to be an EA. I was in it to instill value in children and purpose and confidence and self-esteem. And I'm still doing that in people. Right? So purpose isn't a job. It's not a destination. There's not a box for it. And so I think it's like, what is your deepest desire? What is your purpose? Like, what gets you excited to get out of bed in the morning? Because if you're doing that, the outfit you're wearing outside of that doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter how you're doing it. It matters that you're doing it.
Right. Well, and I love that you wanted to help kids, because you were in that, situation, and people look at you different. And I didn't have any physical handicaps, but I was a super slow reader. So I got yanked out of the English class in 5th grade and, had my little tutor for reading because I was such a slow reader. And I can still, if I look at a book, the first paragraph, I'm all... And so I'm such a slow reader, but, I felt different and, to be put in that box. But kids need to know that they have worth. It doesn't matter what it looks like, but yes.
I actually had this, I was working with, I think there was 4 kids. They were in kindergarten, okay? That's an important piece of this. We're in kindergarten and we're doing math. And so we're like basic, count on your hands addition. We're like, I'm giving you 2 Lego blocks. And then this kid is going to you're going to give them 1 of your blocks. How many blocks do you have left? Right? And we go around, so they each take turns, and we're like, but I make it fun, right? And I'm like, there's no worksheets, we're playing with Legos. Or I had these giant foam dice that we would roll down the hallway. Some of the teachers didn't love me for that. We tried to use the hall that there was less people in, but we get around, we'll go up, this kid goes, does great. This one gets it right. Good job, guys. This is awesome. Get to this little girl and who had struggles, and she had struggles, not just learning struggles. She had struggles at home. And she was one of my favorite students. You're not supposed to have favorites, but man, I loved her. And I still think about her years later, and I hope she's doing well. But she got it wrong. She got the answer wrong. And I said, that was a really good try. Can we try it again? Right? You were really close. Can you take another minute? Don't rush. Take another minute and let's figure it out. And she burst into tears. Like full on, lost her mind, burst into tears and said, I'm an idiot. I can't do anything right. I'm worthless. Like, I'm never going to be good at anything. I don't even know why I'm here. 5 years old.
That's so sad. Yeah.
And I immediately said, okay, guys, math game done. I want, starting with you over here who started the math game, right? We're going to do something different. I want you guys to you're going to start and this little boy's going to start. You're going to go around the table, and I want you to tell me, what do you appreciate? What do you value about each kid at this table? What is something you're thankful for about each of these individuals? Because I wanted that little girl to hear 4 other people tell her what they viewed about her.
Mm-hmm.
Because the messages she was getting, not good. Right? And I was like, this is not, I don't care about math right now. I care that this 5-year-old girl sees that she has value, that she's enough, even when she gets it wrong. And I have, that has been my mission since that day. And now in life coaching, in thriving, yeah, shit hits the fan. Things go wrong. People die. We lose jobs. There are so many things, right? That doesn't decrease your value.
No.
That does not diminish who you are. Who's your identity? And so that's where I start my work, is what are the messages we're feeding ourselves? What are those messages we're listening to the world, right? What are we intaking? And then what are we saying, right? Because it's one thing, the things that we hear. You're outside, you can't hear. I can't take away the fact that the bully said things to me, right? But then am I also then taking those? This little girl took what she heard and then spoke it.
To herself, about herself. Mm-hmm.
And it became her reality, right? So what am I, because yeah, stuff's going to go in there. You're going to hear stuff. We can't control that. But what am I choosing to believe? And what am I feeding myself? What thoughts about myself and my identity and my value and my worth and my purpose am I feeding myself? And then what am I speaking? Because I got to check that.
Yes.
Because
and those are the most powerful words. And she's a 5-year-old. And so until, if none of us had the coaching or the positive person. And so if we talk that negative self-talk from 5 years old to 35 years old, then then it's really part of our identity. And it's just, all false. It's just what we kind of brainwashed because other people said it and we bought into it. And yeah. But yeah, if you can't get that out of there, we are all beautiful in our own way. It doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, to get those out of there, I love that you're doing that with people. Because people hear that kind of crap. It depends on who, you were raised up with, or, if you don't have any cheerleaders, sometimes it could be almost every person that you deal with. And then you have such a low self-worth. And it doesn't have to be that. We could remove all that negative stuff. Yeah.
I mean, let's just look at the world right now, right? And the messages and the division that is happening.
It's super sad.
It's so sad. And then it's like, this person said this, like I saw an interview where someone said something that they shouldn't have said. And everybody attacked them. And they went and I know this person, I follow this person, and I know this person's heart. And then they came and they apologized, like publicly apologized that I'm wrong. And now are going to be painted that they're this hateful human being. And I've had, so it's hard because anytime you speak out about this stuff, there's somebody who's always ready there to tell you you're wrong, to jump on you as soon as you make a mistake. And so I love that you brought up failure, because it's something where like everybody's afraid to fail. We're all afraid to say the wrong thing and to do the wrong thing and to be on the wrong side or have the wrong information. I believe, honestly, and this is what I talk about with my clients too, we work on mindset and what are those things that you're hearing? What are those things that you're choosing to believe, right? Where are you getting your information from? But then also, what are you going to do with that, right? And And am I going to live in fear? So many of us are living in fear, right? What if I fail? So what if I have this dream, right? And what if I've worked on my mindset and I believe I'm worth it and my dream is achievable and I invest all this in it and I am worth what I think I'm worth. And then what if I fail?
Then get up and try again.
Then get up and try again. I honestly believe you will not fail until you stay down.
Until you stop trying. Yeah. And
until you stop trying, your life is not over. I could have stopped after having to resign from my job and been like, well, I failed at that. That was what I was supposed to do. And now I'm done.
Well, if you look at the basic, so when we're a year old, we get up, we try to walk, we fall. We get up, try and walk, we fall. We get up, try and walk, we fall. And just from the 1-year-old little brain, they're not going to stop until they actually do it. And then now we don't even think about it, but it was up and fall, up and fall, up and fall, up and fall, up and fall. But it wasn't you suck, stay down, you're going to be worth it. You know what I mean?
Right?
Don't ever try to get up again, and if you fall one more time, you're just going to be shamed.
Done.
But yeah, it's those beliefs that we grow since then, but we are meant to get up and keep trying until we get what we want. And sometimes we don't think that, or, it's all about what we think other people are going to think of us. If I fail, what are they going to think? One of the biggest fears out there is the fear of public speaking. And I think mostly it's because you're more worried about what people are going to think about you, what they're going to say about your dress, what they're going to say about how you said it. If you screw up, if you say the wrong thing, then you're labeled as somebody different. But at the same time, if you turn it around and it's like, what can I give? Then it doesn't matter what I look like, if my shirt was, if my belly's a little big, whatever. As long as you're not, it's when we focus on ourselves and what other people think of us is when,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what beliefs do you have that set you apart from your competition? And I'm a collaboration versus competition person. So there's lots of life coaches out there. So what do you think kind of sets you apart from other life coaches out there?
Shout out to all my life coach friends. You guys are great. And I think that is the beauty of life coaching, is it's so vast, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Think about it like a high school, right? You have science teachers, and you have gym teachers, and you have math teachers, and you have English teachers, right? The same goes for life coaching. I'm not going to be a health coach who is going to teach you how to train for a marathon, because I can't walk a block. I have a power chair, and that's not my thing. But I'm an individual who has dealt with mental illness for over half my life, since I was 15 years old. I know what it is to feel depressed. I know what it is to have anxiety and panic attacks and be in the middle of a room surrounded by people who are celebrating Christmas, and you have a panic attack. And you don't know and you're not with your family. You are not with anyone you really, really know. And what do you do in that moment, right? I know what it is to have suicidal ideations. And this is right before I ended up seeing a life coach, because I only got up to go to work as an EA. And I had 2 weeks off spring break. For spring break, we have 2 weeks off, and all my other coworkers were talking about the fancy, expensive holidays they were going to take and the adventures they were going to go on. And I thought to myself, I can't afford to go away. I can't afford that stuff, and I'm going to have nothing to do for 2 weeks. I'm not going to get out of bed. I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to sleep because I don't really sleep. Like I stayed in bed all day, but I didn't really sleep very well, right? I'm going to lay in bed thinking about ways to end my life.
Hmm.
And I'm going to do that for 2 weeks because that was my reality. Friday, I'd get home from work and I wouldn't get out of bed till church on Sunday. And I was like, I have 2 weeks of this. And I called my girlfriend who lives 8 hours away and said, who had just had a baby, busy girl. And I called her and said, I need to come stay with you for 2 weeks. I don't need you to entertain me. I don't need you to take care of me. I just need a bed. I have to get out of town. Like, I just have to get out of this space. And she was like, yep, no problem. Come. And I was like, cool. I'm coming like in 3 days. Like, this is very last minute, no notice. Long story short, I actually found out about life coaching on that trip. I hadn't really, and we're talking 8 years ago. And so life coaching at that point was still newer. Like Tony Robbins was doing it, and that was kind of it. But like, I can't afford to go to see Tony Robbins. And, you know, who knows if he'll even hear my story. And so I actually hired my life coach on that trip, hours after I heard about life coaching. And so, which totally changed the trajectory. So to answer your question, what sets me apart is I am not going to ask my clients to do anything that I haven't already done. I'm not going to ask them about mindset stuff that I don't understand, that I can't relate to, that I haven't climbed. I'm not going to ask them to climb a mountain and do work that I myself haven't done. And so I think in that they see that I've done it and go, okay, yeah, no, she's been through all of this stuff. I can relate to her. I'm relatable. We've talked about this. I'm just kind of off the cuff and conversational, and I am who I am. You get what you see. I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. I'm not striving for perfection because that will get you to failure. You will quit if you're just trying for perfection, right? And so my clients see that I have done the work and how far I've come and how much, despite the fact that life is still not easy. I still deal with chronic pain and a disability every day, every minute of my life. And yet I'm thriving.
Yay. I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. That's super important. And some of the things that you mentioned, I have never experienced. And so I've never had a panic attack. You know, I've never been suicidal. So it would be harder for, I could use the tools that I have to help somebody, but I haven't been there. And so, and it's important to really, truly understand your client. I've been through that. This is what I've done. I love that you shared that you're not going to tell them to do something you've never done. And yeah, I love that. That's awesome. So what was the hardest thing to overcome when starting your business?
Probably fear of putting myself out there and being rejected. I think, and maybe this is oversimplifying it, but I think that is what we all fear.
Yeah.
That is the what if I fail?
Mm-hmm.
What if I put all this work in and nobody hires me? And I have to figure out a third career because this is my second one, right? And so I think working through the fear of that, and again, that's just mindset work, right? Whether it's as drastic as I'm having a panic attack and I don't think my life is worth living, you don't have to be in that place for me to help you.
Right.
It's what has you stuck in surviving and where, like, that there is some disconnect between where you are in surviving and where you want the mountaintop of thriving, right? Because often the reason we're not where we want to be isn't actually stuff. It's our thoughts. It's the beliefs that we have about ourselves or the people around us, right? About our situation. And we get stuck in that. And so for me, the biggest thing, that's always been struggle, is what are the lies that my brain's telling me? You can't do this. You have a disability and don't have very much money because you live on disability pension, and you're right, like, you don't have the resources, and you've only done this for this long, and like, you don't have a staff, like, you don't have a multi-million-dollar company to back you and to create the resources that you need to have a successful business, right? It's the spinning lies that your brain tells you. It's the flight or fight, right? Our brains are meant to, like, our brains know how to survive. And they do that through flight or fight, right? They either fight something because it's like, I'm in immediate danger right now and I need this thing to go away. I need to fight this thing, or I need to run away from it, right? Our brains are not actually programmed to thrive. That's where intentional work comes in. And that's what I love doing with people. All right, let's take, what are the steps you need to take from here surviving to here thriving?
I love it.
And I do it with myself every day.
Yeah. And it also depends on what questions you ask. And I didn't realize that until I went to a Tony Robbins event, The Date with Destiny, and talks about a primary question. So our brain is an amazing computer, and it depends on what questions you ask.
Yeah.
To get whatever answers. So if you struggle with a weight problem and you say, why am I so fat? Well, your brain's going to do its job going, well, because you love cookies, because you're lazy, because you don't like to exercise, because this and this and this and this and this. It'll give you all the reasons why you're fat. Yep. If you say, how can I lose weight and have fun doing it? It's like, well, I could go on walks with friends. I could eat, this healthy thing that I absolutely love to eat. I just am too lazy to get it. You know what I mean? If you ask the right questions, how can I, then you could do this and this and this. If you say, why can't I? Why, what if I fail? Or, why are all the reasons I fail? You'll get all the reasons you'll fail. Yeah. If you ask, all the reasons I can do it, then your brain will find those reasons. Well, you can, talk to friends, you can, all sorts of stuff. That's super important. So this is a question I ask everybody, because some people have it, some people don't. And so do you have the support network of friends and family encouraging you to do this, or are you doing something like, I know I have to do this and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks?
Both. We all have, somebody said the other day, I'm doing a challenge currently. I'm hosting a challenge, and one of my speakers said, I think it was yesterday, she said, if you find one person, if you have one person supporting you, that's enough. Zone into their voice and their encouragement. That's all you need. And so as a kid, that was my dad. Right? I have an incredible mother. Shout out to my mother. She is amazing. We are very different people. And so we had to learn each other's love language. We had to learn how to communicate effectively with each other, because it doesn't come naturally to us. Whereas because my dad and I I am my father's daughter, I understood. Right. And I think because of the health stuff we were going through too, I was like, he gets it. Right. So when he's telling me, get up and try again, he's done it. So I know it can be done. Right. And so I think now it's looking at, there's a lot of people, I have an amazing family. They're all really, really brilliant. I don't know if you watched The Big Bang Theory
Mhm.
ever. Okay. I am Penny, and my family are the neighbors. Like, my cousin got her PhD in astrophysics when she was 27 or 28. Like, I have astrophysicists in my family and university professors, and like, my cousin works for a company in the States that builds robots. Like, like they're really, really smart. And so they don't all necessarily understand what it is I do. I don't say that they're not supportive. But they're misguided in what I do. They're still waiting for me to get a degree, minimum. That, like, in my family, minimum you have to have a degree. And so I'm like, I have 3 certificates. And they're like, cool, so when are you getting your degree? I'm like, not. Right? And so I think it's that too. It's shifting to say, like, are these people maybe not supportive, or they just don't see my vision? They're just not supposed to be on the train with me. And but I've also been really, really blessed in having many people. My mother is an incredible support, and she is bragging about me all the time to her friends and to the people she meets. And so I'm really, really grateful. This is another piece that I teach people in my coaching is you need that community. Like, you get to decide, right? This isn't, you don't not have community because you're a terrible person, nobody likes you. I mean, maybe that's the case for some people, but I think more often than not, it is, because I'm not saying there aren't awful people out there, but more often than not, it is because you weren't intentional to find your tribe. You were spending your time with people who don't see your vision. You were not meant to be on the same train. And so it is, I have worked really, really hard over the last decade to not be a people pleaser, because that's my name. I love people. I love relationships. And for many, many years, I was just, and because I think as a kid, I didn't have very many friends. I had 2 friends, one that went to school with me and one that was homeschooled. And then the one that went to school with me, she left in grade 4. And then it was just miserable. And so as a person who didn't have a ton of friends, I was always like, love me, please love me. Like that, right? Like, I just want love and care, and that I'm valued, right? Because the world, right, society, and what is success was telling me I was never going to be successful, was that I wasn't valuable, that I was just meant to, take government money and milk that and sit on my couch and watch TV and just exist. And so I had to then decide, I need to find the people who see my vision, who get what I'm about, and then hold on to those people. Because, and a friend of mine said this, one of my speakers said, he said, you need to be true to who you are. The people who are meant to be in your circle, you're going to attract the people that you need to, but you're also going to repel the people that you're not supposed to have in your life. We're not all supposed to be friends with, like, not everybody's meant to be in your tribe. You can be civil to them, absolutely. We should be kind to each other and loving to each other. Just putting that out there, guys. Like, but not everybody's meant to be in your tribe. Not everybody's going to see your vision. That doesn't make them bad. That just means they're not in your tribe.
Right.
And until you're true to yourself, you're not going to find that tribe. Because you're going to be so busy being like, hey, love me, care for me, see my worth, see my value. To people who aren't meant to see it.
Exactly. Or who don't want to.
Yeah.
You surround the ones that lift you up, not pull you down.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite thing about your business?
Seeing the transition that people make and the wins and the confidence that is built in them. I had one lady that was agoraphobic and didn't leave her house, was terrified to leave her house. She would drop her daughter off at church because she wanted her daughter to be at church, and her daughter wanted to be at church, but she wouldn't come in because she couldn't do the crowd. And we worked together, and I'm going to say 2 months later, I saw her at the aquatic center, and she said to me, I come here every day and I love it. And I can't imagine not being here. Like, I'm still not 100% cool with the crowds. That is still uncomfortable. But I wake up and I want to come.
Good.
In 2 months.
Yay.
That's why I do what I do. I want people that is thriving.
To go beyond what they thought they were stuck in. And that's beautiful. I love that. So what inspires you? What are you passionate about? And it doesn't have to be business.
What inspires me? Joy inspires me. It's interesting. My life coach that I had 8 years ago, I had lost my joy, and I was a joyful kid. You can tell, I am passionate and excited, and I love love and life and fun, right? Who has blue hair as an adult? I love fun and color and adventure, and I've been that way for my whole life, and I lost it for 10 years. I lived in darkness, did not want to live, daily looking for opportunities to end my life where it would look like an accident, so my mother wouldn't know that I ended my life, so at least she wouldn't have to deal with that on top of losing me. But I still felt that her life would be better if I wasn't there, because I was a burden.
That's so sad.
Because my life was just so dark. I didn't feel I brought any value to anyone. And so coming out of that, I live every day. I don't care if I feel like crap, because I have days I feel like crap. I have bad health days and chronic pain, and it sucks. But I choose, and I look at what in my day, and this is my life coach said to me, he said, because I said, I've lost my joy. And he said, what do you enjoy? And I hadn't really thought about that, because I grew up in a Christian home, and so joy has always been connected to spirituality and God, and I've had a relationship with God, and that is my number one. I am me because of God. But when he said that, he said, so what do you enjoy? And I was like, well, what? Church things? I like worship music. I really enjoy that. I enjoy going to church. And he said, no. Just because guess what? God created the mountains for people to go mountain biking on. So going mountain bike, not that I can do that, but going mountain biking is a spiritual thing. It doesn't have to be in a church to be connected to God, to be a spiritual thing that you can enjoy. And so I started looking at every day, no matter what is going on in my day, no matter what I have to do, I do something I enjoy. I make sure that there is time, whether that is, and for everyone that's different. So I love to paint. I have a painting company that I sell photography. I'm an artist. So this is the artist luck. I paint my own nails and my hair, and I do photography. I go out into nature and I take beautiful pictures, and then I sell them as greeting cards and whatever, and prints and on canvas, and I paint. I love painting. It's business, so I sell them, but there's something beautiful in it. That's my time to just be to myself. I listen to some worship music, and I just I just get to be me, and I don't have to show up for anyone. I don't have to perform or meet expectations of others. And I think that's what fills me up, so that when I do show up for others, I can do that fully because I have taken care of me. I've let God take care of me, and I can come fully engaged and fully filled. My cup is filled, that I can then serve you.
I love that. And making sure that you enjoy something every day. I think that's simple but profound. You
It's
put
my fun
yourself you put yourself in that joy because you know that's what you need. And I like that. It's simple, but what a difference.
And I think people, and again, I'm in a different scenario than others, just because of my health. But I think the world is so, and that's a message I share with all my clients. And I also I also do, aside from coaching, I do lifestyle workshops, life skills workshops. And so I talk to groups, whether it's educational groups or work environments and companies, and for Pro-D days and such. And then we talk about nonviolent communication and team building and boundary setting and self-care, and right. So this is all, it's part of my work. But the world often, we're so busy, and that's been the interesting thing about this whole COVID social isolation, stay home thing, is people have slowed down, and they're like, what do I, now I'm getting anxious. Like, people are having anxiety more than they've ever had. And I've talked to so many people who said, I've never had anxiety in my life, and now I'm just afraid of everything. I'm afraid of germs everywhere. And right. And I don't know what to do with myself because I have all this time, but it feels like I don't have time, because what if I get sick and then I die? And like, everyone is just so anxious. And I think so that's my message. That a lot of work that I do with clients, whether in a workshop or in coaching, is like, I don't care if it is going outside for a 5-minute walk, or it's driving to Starbucks to get a coffee. If that's something you enjoy and it takes 5 minutes, because 5 minutes is all you have in your day, then do it. If you have time, I love being at the pool. I am waiting for it to open up because it is one of my pain therapies and I need it. But I go and I just float in the pool because it takes all of the gravity away from my body and the pressure, and I enjoy it. And it's something that fills me up. And so if you've got a day that you have 2 hours or 4 hours that you can go and just dedicate to filling you up, do it. If you've got 5 minutes, use those 5 minutes. Because there's always something else you could do. You could go grab the mail. You could check your work email. You could do some dishes. You could vacuum. Or you could invest in yourself.
Exactly. And
right?
Yep, absolutely. So one last question, and we're almost out of time. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I talk a lot.
Oh, that's okay, and I love it. I love, you are just full of life, and it's beautiful. So if you can leave one tip or one golden nugget for the people listening, and it was the only thing you could tell them and your only chance to say it, what would that be?
I would say you were made to thrive. That is not a message that this world gives necessarily. That is not a message you hear day to day. There are demands, there are requirements, there are responsibilities. But if you're not taking care of that and investing your time in, what do I need for me to be the best I can be, to show up for others? Because we do want to live a life of service. My life is about service. But I can't do that unless I'm living in my fullness, with my cup full, and with in my thriving. And if I'm not getting what I need to get to be able to do that, then I'm not only robbing myself, because some people think, I've heard this term that self-care is selfish. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Because if I'm not taking care of myself, I can't take care of others. If, for example, if I don't go to physio and take that time out, that hour to go and lay on a table and have a physiotherapist loosen my muscles and relocate my bones that have shifted, then I am useless to anyone else. I physically can't go. And so often we think, okay, but that's because you physically can't, and I'm physically fine. Okay, but if your mind isn't right, if you're not taking care of the messages that you let in here and what you're feeding yourself and your mind and your spirit and your soul, then you can't show up for people as much as you want to. So it not only hurts you, it's going to hurt others.
Yeah. Well, if you're depleted, energy, spirit, how much are you going to give? If you're already just running on fumes, you have to fill up your own gas tank, and then you could be so much more to everybody else. Yeah.
Can I share one more thought?
Absolutely.
I have this vision of, picture a mason jar, right? And you have a bag of sand, and you have a bag of small stones, small rocks. The sand are the daily tasks that we have. The responsibilities, the little things, the mail, the dishes, taking care of the kids, making sure the kids' beds are made, or making sure the homework is signed, et cetera, et cetera. The rocks are like your sole purpose priorities, right? So many people are busy filling the mason jar with sand that by the time they fill it with sand, they try to put the rocks in, they won't fit. But if you put your rocks in first, and that someone said to me, I heard someone saying that when my kid says, my 5-year-old says to me, Daddy, come play with me, I go play with him, because my relationship with my son is more important than cooking dinner right now, or vacuuming, or whatever the thing is, right? If we put those rocks and the priorities, whatever those are, into the jar first, when you pour the sand in, it actually will move, and it goes around the rocks, and you can actually accomplish and fill the jar with both.
But if you do it the other way, I love that. That's a great visualization. Awesome. So if people want to get a hold of you and, they resonate with you and they want to find out more about you, where exactly would they go?
My website is www.thrivelifecoaching.ca. That is for my coaching and my workshops. If you're interested in art, just going to throw that out there, my website is veronicasvisionsart.ca. And I teach paint classes. I sell my art. It really all comes down to relationships and how are we thriving.
Exactly. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. You are truly a blessing and just a great big ball of energy and sunshine. I love it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having me. This has been amazing.
No problem. No problem. So for anybody that wants to reach out to Miss Veronica, one more time, go to thrivelifecoaching.ca for Canada. So it's thrivelifecoaching.ca. And then you'd have to say the other website one more time.
My name, so it's Veronica's Visions Art.ca.
Beautiful. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next time.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So, is it weird watching that like 2 months later, 2.5 months later?
That felt like a long time ago. I mean, it was. It didn't feel like, I don't feel like it was that long ago I talked to you, but it was a long time. I'm like, oh,
Right.
yeah, lots has gone on.
So, does
So-
anybody have?
I'm just gonna say you
What?
spelled my last name wrong. You spelled my last
the
name
banner?
wrong in your banner.
Oh, I
It's
did.
okay.
Oh, so
Everybody does
sorry.
it.
And you told me that earlier. Everybody spells my
No,
first
no.
name wrong, even if they've known me for like years and years and years.
Right.
So,
No, it's, people either say it wrong or they spell it wrong.
and kind of like
So,
what
I
you
don't
said,
know.
it looks
But-
like Veroni Cashier.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because
Awesome. So, does anybody have any questions for Miss Veronica? She's going to hang out here for a few minutes and answer any questions. So, I love that you are so vulnerable in that video. And, you know, there's so many people that have the anxiety and the depression and feeling like life's never going to get better. And I love that you've been through that and you know how it feels and that you can help them through that, because that's such a horrible, tough time. Thank you, Miss Mega. How's Mega? I have Amber and Mega and Violet and
Hello.
beautiful. I'm so glad you guys are here.
The comments, I was watching the comments as I was listening, and I appreciate you guys so much. You're just wonderful people, and so
And there's
I'm
a
happy
few
you're
of your fans that are in the chat that have been watching. It's like, you're amazing. Yay.
Well, those were my speakers on the challenge that I mentioned in the interview, and so thanks for being here, guys. Ask me questions. Ask me whatever you want. This is your opportunity,
So if
guys.
anybody, and so the cool thing, like I said before, all of the coaches that are going to be on the summit are actually going to be in the group. And so you could reach out to them, because somebody might not watch this video until 2 weeks down the road. It's like, oh my gosh, I totally resonated with Veronica. And then you can actually reach out to her in the group and connect with her. And so we didn't mention it on the video, but Veronica is going to give away a 30-minute introductory call if you want to connect with her. And so you're going to go. So do you want that just to be an email? Or a message in Facebook, or what would you like?
Yeah, they can just DM me, PM me. I'm learning all these terms. I don't know. What's the difference
I think
between
it's the
a DM
same.
and a
So
PM?
DM is direct message, and then PM is private message.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, do you have my email in the coaches post topic?
I have your website, but in the giveaways, the
in the
giveaways. So
website.
in the group,
Perfect.
I'm gonna have
Go
a
for it.
giveaways little post topic, and then I'll have each coach in every one of their giveaways. So I have the Veronica Shire at gmail.com. And so I'll have that in there, and just make sure if you want that 30-minute consultation from Veronica, just say, heard about you in the summit. Would love to have a 30-minute consultation, or you could reach out to her in the group, which is perfect.
Mhm. Yeah. I'll send you, I've got a direct email for my coaching. So I'll
Okay.
give you that.
And
to
that would
post.
be awesome. And I encourage everybody,
Cool.
and I know today is day 1, and there was a hiccup or two as we got started.
No, those are not hiccups. Those are
Well,
just
it was
learning,
weird
growing
because,
pains.
you know,
That's
because
all.
you share the video and then you don't hear any sound. That's why I thought it wasn't working. And so, yeah. I could not hear
You
it. Now
could-
I had
did
to
you
listen
not
to
hear
it on
it?
my phone.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Oh. I heard it.
Yay.
Sounds great. We did great.
Thank you. And so I encourage everybody to share the videos, do a watch party. Like I said, I'm going to give away memberships. I'm going to give away prizes every day. At the end of the summit, we're going to give away prizes because we appreciate the engagement. We appreciate you sharing the message and sharing the interviews with everybody because, you know, just like that life coach took her out of the I'm sitting around for 2 weeks thinking about ways to kill myself, that life coach brought her out of that. And that we don't ever, and this is such a stressful time for people. And some people are out of work for the first time ever, and they can't, you know, they don't know what to do and they're stressed out. And here in the US, a lot of people still haven't gotten unemployment. And so they're stressed out. And so don't do anything drastic. Reach out to a coach because that's what we're here for. We're here to bring you out of those darkest parts of your life and to help lift you up to bring you to the most joyful parts of your life that are yet to come. So
I had a client like just in the last month and a bit ago, and reached out to me, found me on my website, and she, as I was doing my intake with her, the consult call, and she said, yeah, my dog died and I've just been really, really down about it. And so she thought in her head, she was like, this is why. Maybe I'll just get another dog and I'll feel better. And we worked together. We had 3 sessions. And at the end of it, she was like, it was my job. I was not showing up as me in my job. I was afraid. It all comes back to fear. And so, you know, and she was like, I don't know how in like 3 weeks. Well, with the intake, it was a month. You know, and so it's just, I love that I get to be able to speak into people's lives, whether you are, you know, depressed and anxious and suicidal versus you're like, I had this thing happen and I lost my job, right? We're in the pandemic and I lost my job and I've lost my focus. I don't really feel joy anymore, or I don't feel motivated. Whatever it is, like my job, what I love doing is helping people go from surviving to thriving.
Right.
Whatever
and it
that
could be
looks
in
like
different
for you.
stages. Yeah. Going from the dark stages to feeling okay to then feeling fantastic. And so there's several stages in our lives, and you know, it depends on what we're going through. And so I love your message, and I love you are very colorful and just have a heart of gold. Absolutely loves you being here. So again, reach out to Veronica either in the group, and I'll have it under the giveaways where you can actually connect with her and get that 30-minute consultation. So I'm hoping Irene.
Questions, guys? No, come on. Where's the question?
I know. Questions, people.
I wanted to add to that. You said it doesn't matter where you are on the stage, and I like what stage you're in. For me, I just did this from Surviving to Thriving challenge that a couple months ago, and shared, and lots of my speakers shared this with, you know, what thriving isn't a destination. It's not I've achieved A, B, and C, and now I'm thriving. Thriving is this continual journey, because whether it's you're going for, okay, so say you're planning a marathon. I'm going to run a marathon, right? Once you've climbed or running the marathon, you've now hit the top of the mountain, right? You've done the climb, you've done the training, you've done all the things you need to do to get to the thriving. But that's not the end of your journey. Now you're at the top of a mountain. You're like, you know, this is awesome. But you actually then have a view of a 360 view that there's a whole bunch of other mountains in your life that you get to adventure and you get to climb, right? And so it's this, whether it's you're on the peak of that mountain, that you have succeeded in something, but you're like, okay, I did all these things and I got the dream job and I got the dream family but I just feel unfulfilled, right? I have those clients too. And then I have the ones that are like, I'm stuck on the bottom of the mountain. Like, I'm looking at the mountain. I know what it is I want. I just don't know how to climb it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Well, and even when you're at the top, you know, there are people at the very tip top that still have a coach because, you know, life is never ending. And there's
Totally.
always things to accomplish or dreams to fulfill. And so, yeah,
yeah.
beautiful.
Joyce asked a question. So we should probably answer if we're, if we're asking questions. This is great. Keep questions coming, guys. She asked, what's my ideal client? It's those, I work a lot with clients who are just in that, like, I feel like I'm just surviving. I use the mountain analogy. I have another one. I like pictures. You got that with the mason jar. I have this picture of you're in the middle of the lake and you're treading water, right? And you're alive. Like, you're doing the things and you're kicking your legs and you're swinging your arms and doing whatever you got to do to tread the water. You're living, right? But there's an island. It could be many islands, and you see the island and there are people on the island and they're having some fun. They're doing some things and you're like, I want to get to the island, and I'm just feeling stuck in where I am because I've been so busy, whether that's the sand in your mason jar. I've been so doing the responsibilities of my life and like doing the successful things or unsuccessful, whatever, that I've forgotten. I don't know how to get unstuck from this place. And I'm stuck in fear and anxiety and depression and just like complacency. This place of like, I just wake up. It's like Groundhog Day. I'm doing the same day over and over again. I don't feel like I have these dreams. I have these visions for what my purpose is. But I'm not making moves, and I don't know how to, because I've just been doing this hamster wheel thing for so long. I don't know how to get there. So that's what I love. Those are the clients I love to work with, and the ones that are motivated, that are like, okay, you know, I lived in depression, in that dark hole for 10 years, and I was like, I am ready. I will do whatever it takes. Like, I want to do the work, and then I get to come alongside them and just and be their cheerleader.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and variety is a human need that we have to have. And when there's no variety, people, yeah, they'll freak out. Yeah. And so anyways, thank you so much for being here today. Everybody, you could reach out to Veronica in the group. Miss Irene just showed up. And so we are going to play her video. It's not as long. It's about 26 minutes long. But she has such a good message, and, you know, you're really going to feel her heart too. And anyways, Veronica, thank you. And I'm so sorry I spelled your name wrong again.
It happens all the time. So no worries. And thank you so much, Robin. It was a pleasure. And yeah, guys, definitely reach out and let me know if I can support you guys in any way.
And Joyce said, I find metaphors speak to someone who have troubles relating with their own inner struggles. And absolutely. And yeah, she's been through her own stuff for sure. Mm-hmm. So awesome. Yes. Okay. Well, we will see you later. Thank you very much, Veronica.
Bye, and thanks so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Miss Irene.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. That was so amazing. I just watched the whole entire show.
Oh, and you know, and
fantastic.
Absolutely. And it just proves that your mess is your message, and you know, where her struggles were is where she learns to find her strength. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to actually figure out how to get there, for sure.
I could relate to so much of it.
Yes, absolutely. And so, you know, Miss Irene, she has quite a story. And you, when you see the video, so we filmed this, I think it was in May, and you just feel her heart and feel the emotions that she went through. And I can't wait to share that with you. And then she will be here after the video and we are gonna open it up to questions and answers. So make sure you stick around. So we have 26 minutes on this video, and we're gonna get started. Is there anything you want to say first, Irene?
I want to say thank you so much for hosting this amazing event and giving all of us an opportunity to share our mission and purpose and passion. I truly appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'm so excited to be able to do that, and trying to juggle everything to try and make this happen. But I'm so happy because everybody's got just the biggest heart ever, and I really hope that portrays and inspires people with everything that they're going through. So I'm getting ready to start Irene's video, and hopefully the sound works, and hang in there with me. Okay, so here we go.
Mentioning before that there's different technologies for this product, and some would be, it would be different for diabetics versus neuralgia or
Can you hear it?
Or can you explain a little bit more about
how you and I are talking?
Okay, so mute yourself.
It's not a bad issue. It's not a bad issue. We have 46,000
I think I have to restart.
MS, I have nerve damage, we have Parkinson's, we have fibromyalgia, lupus. It's nothing to do with the issue with the symptom. It's everything to do with keeping the brain in that homeostasis, equilibrium. So when we can come down the brain, the whole the body.
Hello, everybody. This is Robin Leslie. I am the founder of Only the Inspired, and we're just starting our Only the Inspired Coaches Marathon, where we're interviewing different coaches and different entrepreneurs to see what triggered them to go from one career to another career, or what inspired them to want to reach out and help other people. So today I have Miss Irene
then we have patches. All of them have the same technology.
I have Miss Irene here, and she has an amazing story
and stability,
so
mobility, range of motion, and balance
has been
happens
through
in 7
so
seconds.
much in her life, and I'm going to have her explain a little bit about why we're here and what she wants to talk to you about. So in a couple minutes, Miss Irene, describe who you are and how you help people.
It can take a little longer. So my name is Irene Vansberg. I was born in Russia, but everybody. This country in 1979. I was 11 years old. My parents brought us here. We have 90% and $500 with pain relief. And
okay, so if somebody wanted to learn more about this,
they brought us to this
where would
beautiful
they go?
country.
And then,
to
obviously that might
dreams,
be a
our hopes,
website
and
that
our
explains the
passion.
products.
And,
But what if people have questions on what is the best product for them, or what's the best way for them to go about trying this out? Is it expensive? Is it
So
okay?
they can contact me personally. I'll be more than happy to give my phone number. We can attach it and my email. So I knew I'm available. I was going to be a hairdresser. Facebook, find me there. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm everywhere. Doing just giving up is not an option. My dream was everything is figurable. Salon. We can figure it out. Everything, and as long as we can hold on to that hope and faith. Our moment. And I also say, if you don't have faith, hold on to hope. If you lost hope, hold on to faith. So I am available live the to dream help in any sort of way. When I think about it, just my phone number, like I said, eyes to be able to see his
I'm sorry, name and lights put on his voice.
I got so excited, I forgot what you said.
To see it light up.
That's okay. So when we do post this interview, then we will actually, if you want to put out your phone number there, we can.
Right, and you can see it from
so
far.
the website is
such a proud
health.box.
It was
Like,
such
so
a
the box
like I
that's
felt
two
I
X's.
won a lottery. Yes.
Probably.
Okay, so it's GOTHEALTH.VOSX
It wasn't easy.
life,
I,
LIFE.com.
worked
So you
towards
can
that
actually
as a single
check out the
mother
products. I know
with a
my sister
baby,
has been
worked
in major
really
pain
hard,
for
but,
several years,
I
and
had to
and it's pain
make it
management.
happen.
There's
I wanted to
there's
support
no actual
women
full relief
and
from
give
the
them
pain, and I can't wait to
place
get her
to
on
be
this.
safe
And
be
I remember
inspired.
what you
You know,
asked me. So the
people
product
say we
starts
have
at
to be
$35
inspired from
to
inside out.
60.
My little
And
thing
you need
was from
3 pairs of
outside
socks
in
and
your
because
good.
we lose
Okay, it's our day one. So I'm gonna do this again. And we'll just make sure that your Facebook is shut down on your computer or wherever.
I'm doing on my phone. The Facebook is shut down. Yes.
Okay. And so
closed that
we'll start this again. I'm so sorry about the double sound, everybody. We're working on it. So
I'll mute. And my mic was mute. I just unmuted myself.
okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start this over.
Okay. I'm muting myself.
Okay. I'm sharing the screen again, guys. Sorry. Hang in with us. It's day one. Oh.
Mess when he was 13, and he saw his mom went from a vibrant woman to in 18 months into a wheelchair and became a zombie. So at 13 years old, he told her he was going to change her life. But he didn't know he was making this for me too.
Right.
But yeah, it's a pretty powerful company. He's a pretty powerful man, and heart of gold and passion, and making this so affordable for all of us to use. It's fantastic. I don't know what I would be. Definitely not here with you, so I'm super glad that this technology brings so many people into
Hello,
my life.
everybody. This is Robin Leslie. I am the founder of Only That Your Heart, and we're just sharing all this. So, Only That Irene has agreed to give a 30-minute where we're interviewing different coaches and different entrepreneurs to see what triggered them to the number 2 go from one career to because you might have questions on how this is going to help or what my situation is, and today what should I order, what should I try, and just maybe get some more feedback from somebody that was in extreme pain. She is willing to, she has an amazing 30-minute call with you and actually go through everything, and has been through so much in her life, and I'm going to have her explain a little bit actually, why we're here and what the pain, not be the pain, but actually get through. So in a couple minutes, Miss Irene, describe who you are and how you help people. If you could leave one tip or one golden nugget for anybody listening,
in Russia,
and that was the only message that you could say, what would it be?
11 years old.
Okay, guys, so what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna play her video in the group because we have, for some reason, we have the double sound, and I don't know why that's happening. Oh, maybe I know now. Anyways, I'm so sorry that happened. So I'm just gonna play her video in the group. Yeah, we're pivoting. Thanks, Lachelle. So I had 2 screens open for my YouTube, and I thought one was Veronica's and one was Irene's, and I think it could have possibly been me. Anyways, so I am gonna just play her video, in the group. So I'll talk for a few minutes. Irene will be in the group to actually answer any questions if you want to reach out to her, because she's talking about she was in a major accident and she was going through so much pain and didn't know how to overcome that. And then somebody introduced her to these socks. And I know it sounds totally weird, but these socks literally took her out of pain. It's such an emotional story. Irene sent some socks to my sister. It put her feet and ankles out of pain within seconds. And I really think this is such a really important video because, and everybody's different. But if you're in chronic pain all the time, this could really, really help you. And so I just love her story and her struggles. Yeah. So Veronica's saying they're hearing sounds from the beginning of the interview. So I'm not sure why it's doing that, but so I am going to play the video in the group and we'll go from there. I'll come live in just a little bit and follow up. Okay. And just reach out to Irene in the group and we will talk to you later. So I'm going to stop this live because it's annoying, I'm sure. So I will see you in the group in just a minute. And then yes, it's, I can't, I've had Lachelle, I've had some, I think it's pretty much just inflammation and sometimes everything in my body hurts, but nothing like what Veronica goes through, nothing like what Irene goes through or my sister who hurt all the time. And I know several people have had several back surgeries or different surgeries and there is just no relief. There's nothing that the doctors can do. And I believe that there's always an answer. So I'm going to stop the live. So, and I don't know. So it's working now? Yay. I'm sorry about the double sound. And yeah, bear with me, guys. So anyways, I will put up the video. Irene is also offering a 30-minute consultation with her because she's been dealing with this Vox Life for several years. And so if you have questions about how it can help you, then reach out to her in the group. And so day 2, I'll give you just a little heads up on who's coming up tomorrow for day 2. So we have Baba. So Baba Tunji, he is a speaker coach. And so he learned through going through his corporate career, how to speak on stage and how to actually help other people do that. And speaking is one of the best paying careers that you can have if you can brave the live stage in front of people. So can't wait for you to hear that. And then we have Nefertiti, and she is just a creative soul on so many different levels, like from balloon art to all sorts of different art and dancing and singing. And I can't wait for you to hear those interviews. So I am going to play Irene's video separately so it doesn't annoy everybody, and we'll work out the system tomorrow. And it's brand new to me, so thanks for being so forgiving. So anyways, I will come up live again. Please share the videos because it really, really, we are here to truly help other people in any way we could do that. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so very much. And we will talk to you soon. And I look forward to that video in just a minute. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.